Hi everyone, welcome to this analytical chemistry classes. Today we will learn another topic, okay, fluorography. So fluorography is also called as a voltammetric technique, and as we know in the electrochemical technique, generally we will study the determination of chemical substance which are electroactive. So first we will see history of fluorography. Okay, so fluorography was developed by Jaroslav Uralsky, and he is also called as a father of electroanalytical methods. Okay, so his contribution in analytical chemistry cannot be overestimated, and in this method we will use the voltammetric method for determination of a chemical substance. So he first time recorded the P, we can say current voltage curve. Okay, current voltage curve, that is also called as a fluorograph, and he first time took the fluorograph or a curve for a current versus voltage, okay, in the range of 1.9 to 2 volt, okay, of a 1 molar sodium hydroxide. Okay, so he obtained the curve, and that curve is due to the deposition of a sodium ion on the surface of a mercury electrode. So there is a formation of a amalgam, okay, on the surface of a mercury. Okay, when this sodium ion get reduced on the surface of a mercury, so it will be form a sodium and a mercury amalgam. So this is a his apparatus, okay, who developed himself, and it is like a this is a hand driven instrument, okay, for determination of a chemical substance using a electrochemical technique. So this is another study, okay. So this is another curve, okay. He recorded for the different metal ions. So he took the thallium, cadmium, zinc, and manganese, okay, into some solution, and he started to take the that we can say the curve between with a different potential. So here he means change the potential from 0 to 1 volt, and this curve is due to the again formation of a amalgam of these metal ions on the mercury surface. Okay, and due to this development or a pioneer work, he got the Nobel Prize, okay, in 1959. So this is a we can say the starting or a introduction or history of a fluorography. Okay, fluorography. So as we see that fluorography start from 1922, we can say. So here we will see, okay, what is the fluorography. So generally the fluorography, we must know the curve between, we will record the curve between current and different potential, okay, and with the help of that current potential curve, we can determine the concentration of a chemical substance that present in a unknown solution, and that Jaroslav, okay, he named that a working electrode as a micro electrode. So previously I have been told that a working electrode can be called as different types of electrode, like macro electrode, indicator electrode. So here he named that working electrode as a micro electrode, and it is a trapping mercury, okay, used for analysis of a electro-reducible or a oxidizable metal ions, okay, and also that can be also used for determination of a organic species, okay, from the sample surface. And we must also know this here working electrode or micro electrode or indicator electrode is a dropping mercury electrode, okay, dropping mercury electrode. So we will see why it is called dropping mercury electrode. And the nature of that electrode is a polarizable, okay. So we will see what we mean by polarizable electrode, okay. Then the curve, okay, that we will obtain between the current and the voltage is called fluorogram or a fluorograph, okay. Then we will see what the fluorograph, okay. So fluorograph is a, we can understand with the help of polarization, okay, polarization. So what do you mean by polarization? So in electrochemical process, okay, the potential, okay, E is directly proportional to the I current. That means if we will increase the potential, the current will be directly increased, okay. But if the increase in cell potential is not accompanied by increase in current, that is called polarization. So here in fluorography, the polarization means, okay, when we increase the potential of an electrode, so there should not be directly, okay, a change of current with the increase in the potential. So that is called polarization, okay. और मतलब इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि what do you mean by polarization, okay. So there you have to define what in one sentence what do you mean by polarization, okay. Next one, this is the instrumentation, okay, instrumentation of a fluorography. So this is a block diagram, okay. This is a block diagram of a fluorography, and the previous one is the actual, okay, the design of the instrument. So this is a block diagram of that fluorography, okay. So here what are the different parts, okay, or different parts of the fluorography, okay. And this now we have different types of voltammetry, and one of the example is the cyclic voltammetry, okay, cyclic voltammetry, and we have done one experiment, okay, in cyclic voltammetry. And before understanding the current voltammetric technique, okay, and we know that the voltammetric techniques are very important used in a battery, like charging, discharging. So we know that our cell phone, okay, we are using a lithium-ion battery, okay, and that battery should have, means a last time of a battery discharging. If your that mobile has a good battery, means that your battery should be for long time. It should not discharge in a very short period of a time. So this type of a process can be studied in a voltammetry, and the background of that voltammetric technique are put by this fluorography technique, okay. So here we have a reservoir mercury. This is called mercury reservoir, and we know the mercury is in the form of liquid, okay, in the form of liquid. So here that pure form of mercury is kept here, and we have here capillary tube, okay, capillary tube. So here that due to the gravitational force, okay, the mercury from this mercury reservoir will drop, okay. So and this is a sample cell. This H-shaped, okay, H-shaped cell. This is a sample cell, okay. And here we will put our sample solution, okay, sample solution where the metals ions are present. And this is a reference electrode. So here anode is a reference electrode, and we have already seen what is the function of a anode or a reference electrode. And this is a we can say liquid junction. Okay. So liquid junction we have seen where that will maintain the neutrality between two cells, and we have here we will apply the potential between a working cell compartment and another one is a reference cell compartment. Okay, and here we have to also use some inert nitrogen gas. Okay, so the purpose of inert nitrogen gas is to expel, okay, the oxygen from the sample solution. Otherwise, oxygen will oxidize. Okay, will take that will cause interference during the chemical reaction. Okay, now we will see in detail how this electrolysis process takes place in a fluorography. So we have a sample, okay, sample cell in which the chemical substances are present, and we have working electrode and a reference electrode. Now, when we will give potential to the working electrode, then chemical reaction occur under the influence of applied potential immersed sample solution. The reaction are characterized by the transfer of electron between an electrode and a analysis in the solution. So generally we can see. So this is a capillary. Suppose, okay. So here we can see. We can understand, suppose that our mercury, okay, liquid mercury coming from the reservoir, okay, mercury reservoir, and we can think this is a capillary, okay, capillary tube, and the size of this capillary tube is very thin. Maybe we will see like 1 micrometer or 2 micrometer size, and very small droplet, okay, of mercury will come out, okay, into the solution, and what will happen? So these are the cation, okay. So so mercury, here the mercury, dropping mercury will act as a cathode, okay, it will be act as a cathode, which negative surface we can see, and the cation that present in the solution, okay, will get reduced, okay, on the surface of a dropping mercury. Okay, so that is a dropping mercury liquid, but it is called as a dropping mercury electrode. Okay, and the current produced proportional to the concentration of a electroactive species that present in the solution. So the how much amount of that metal ion or other chemical substance that get oxidized or reduced. Okay, so and here suppose if this will be positive surface, then it will the chemical substance will be get oxidized. When the mercury will act as a negative electrode, it will be act as a cathode, and the chemical substance will get reduced. Okay, when the mercury surface is positive, and that changing of a cathode or anode depending upon the what potential we are applying. Okay, हम कितना potential क्या बोलते हैं working electrode को apply कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. Then the electrode at which the reduction occurs is called cathode, and the electrode at which the oxidation takes place, okay, it is called as a anode. And this is a fluorograph, okay, fluorograph or the voltammetry peak that obtained in a fluorography. So this is a we can say pattern, okay, pattern of a fluorographic peak. So we have in y-axis we have a current, and that current may be in microampere, nanoampere, depending upon the sensitivity, okay, and this x-axis is a applied potential, okay, and this curve we will have a residual current, and we have this part is called diffusion current, and this part, okay, the saturated current is called limiting current, okay.
In a solution has function of an applied voltage. It was invented by Jaroslav Penrosky, who was for this invention awarded a Nobel Prize in 1959. Polarography is a subclass of voltammetry where the working electrode is a dropping mercury electrode that is used to continuously the cubic electrode surface. The specific characteristics of polarography are it involves two electrodes, a polarized electrode and a depolarized electrode, which are used as working electrodes, and it is an incomplete electrolysis since only a small amount of analyte is consumed in the process. Our aim is to find out the unknown concentration of cadmium and zinc ions present in the given mixture. Apparatus. Polarography equipment. Standard solution of 1 millimolar cadmium sulfate, 1 millimolar zinc sulfate and 2 molar potassium chloride. Distilled water. 250 ml beakers, 10 ml pipette, measuring jar. Procedure. Arrange all the required materials on the table. Pipette out 10 ml of 1 millimolar cadmium sulfate solution into the 250 ml beaker. Pipette out 10 ml of 1 millimolar zinc sulfate solution into the same beaker. Take 50 ml of 2 molar potassium chloride into a measuring jar and pour this into the same beaker. Stir well the solution in the beaker using a glass rod. Now take a polarographic cell and pour the solution from the beaker into the cell. Place the cell into the cell resting holder and connect calomel electrode as reference electrodes and platinum electrodes as auxiliary electrode. Now fill mercury into the tagging tube through the mercury reservoir valve. Adjust the drop set and scan the sample. First enter the initial microvolt and scan microvolt and select the scan rate. Then choose the mode selection that you want, that is DC or sampled AC. If offset is present, remove the offset current by pressing yes. After scanning, choose the print option to generate the corresponding results. From the printed results, we get the half-wave potential and average limiting diffusion current of cadmium and zinc.
So this is about a amount of metal ion, that present into the sample solution. So in that video we have seen the determination of a metal, different types of metal using a fluorographic technique. So here we will take the example of a determination of zinc. So here we will understand the curve, fluorographic curve. For determination of zinc from a sample solution. So as we know that zinc 2 plus ion will get reduced on the mercury dropping electrode, and it will form a amalgam, and we have a here residual current. This one is called A to B is called residual current, and we will see why we will get the residual current in a fluorography, and B to C is called diffusion current. We will see how that diffusion current is obtained, and C to D is called limiting current. And as the potential of dropping mercury electrode is more negative, there is a further increase in the current with the Ohm's law and concentration of zinc reduced. So this means when we increase, the potential from a positive to negative, then so you must remember, when we increase the potential from positive to negative, then there will be reduction of chemical substance that present into the solution. And when we increase the potential from a negative to positive, then there will be oxidation of a chemical substance. And B to C, B to C, as the potential of the dropping mercury electrode increase, the zinc ion is reduced at the electrode surface until a point C. The concentration at electrode is negligibly small in comparison to the bulk solution. So when we increase the potential, okay, when increase the potential of a electrode, the zinc metal ion, okay, that present in a bulk solution, okay, get reduced on the electrode surface. So we will get this curve. So this is a so when we increase the potential, there is a increase in the reduction of metal ions. So if there is an increase in the reduction of metal ions on the electrode surface, there is a increase in the current. Okay, so we will obtain a BC curve. Then from C to D, the current remains constant, which determined by the rate of diffusion of the genes from the bulk solution of the solution to the electrode surface. And here this is a dropping mercury electrode, okay, and so here that metal ions present in the bulk solution, and the metal ions reaching to the electrode surface is due to the diffusion process, okay, diffusion. And you know what do you mean by diffusion? What do you mean by diffusion? The chemical substance from a higher to lower concentration. If any chemical substance transfer from a higher to lower concentration, so that process is called the diffusion. So you know that so this is a electrode surface, and at the electrode surface, when we start the chemical reaction, the concentration of chemical substance is low compared to the bulk solution, and when you apply the potential from the bulk solution, that metal ion reaches to the electrode through the diffusion process. So that is why it is called as a diffusion current. And okay, so through the diffusion, suppose this is the electrode surface, okay, and the metal ion or chemical substance okay, deposited on the cathode surface. So then what we will see at a time, when that electrode surface is full of metal ion, okay, at the electrode surface, now there will be maybe there is a negligible reduction process, okay. So then we will get a limiting current, okay. Number of Z-ions diffuses from the bulk solution of the solution to the electrode surface is equal to the number of that metal ion that deposited when the steady state is reached, or the rate of diffusion is equal to the rate of diffusion. So at a point it will reach, there will be no diffusion of a metal ion, or we can say a negligible metal ion, okay. So this CD is called limiting current. So here we have seen, okay, first one is a residual current, then another one is a diffusion current, and the last one is a limiting current. And the limiting current, the reason for getting the limiting current मतलब क्यों मिल रहा है, क्योंकि आपका जो इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस में मैक्सिमम मेटल आयन क्या हो गया है, डिपॉजिटेड हो गया है, ओके नाउ, और मतलब देयर इज ए वेरी लो, ओके, और नेग्लिजिबल पॉसिबिलिटी होगा इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस में आके मतलब फॉर द रिडक्शन प्रोसेस, एंड वी विल गेट ए सैचुरेटेड करंट और लिमिटिंग करंट. देन modes of transport of the chemical species to the electrode surface. अब इसमें हम लोग here means we have the electrode, dropping mercury electrode, and we have the chemical substance that present in the bulk solution. तो इसमें क्या है, मतलब कौन कौन से मतलब ट्रांसपोर्ट प्रोसेस है through which that the chemical species transport to the electrode surface. First one is a convection. Convection means a mechanical stirring or heating.
पहला पॉइंट क्या है, जैसे दिस इज ए इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस. ओके, जनरली व्हाई वी विल कंसीडर द इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस, because the chemical substance okay getting oxidized or reduced at the electrode surface. So one way to get okay on the electrode surface is a, if you stir okay the solution, the chemical substance will reach here. One process is a stirring, another one is a heating, and this is a convection type of a transport. Okay, another one is a electrostatic attraction. So what is the nature of electrode? इसका इलेक्ट्रोड का नेचर क्या है? हाँ, नेगेटिव. ओके, एंड इन द बल्क सॉल्यूशन that metal ions are present as a positive. So there may be a electrostatic interaction. ठीक है. Another one way is a electrostatic between the positive charge and negative charge. And if जैसे मान लो आपका इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस अगर निगेटिव है एंड आपका जो मेटल आयन क्या है पॉजिटिव है, अगर मेटल आयन पॉजिटिव है और ये इलेक्ट्रोड सरफेस में ऐसे पहुंच रहा है, सो दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड माइग्रेशन. और जो इससे जो करंट प्रोड्यूस होगा ना, अगर मान लो ठीक है, एंड दैट करंट इज कॉल्ड माइग्रेशन करंट. ठीक है, तो आपको मतलब पता होना चाहिए व्हाट इज ए माइग्रेशन करंट. ओके, सो व्हाट इज ए माइग्रेशन करंट? माइग्रेशन करंट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड ओके ड्यू टू द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ आयंस ओके फ्रॉम positive ions to the negative surface due to the electrostatic interaction. Okay, so that is called migration current. And this migration current in a electrochemical analysis, fluorography or voltammetry, it is not useful. Okay, it is not useful for the determination. We have to avoid that migration current. Okay, and how that can be avoided? That can be aided by excess use of a inert electrolyte like KCl. So I think you have remembered in cyclic voltammetry we have used supporting electrolyte KCl. Okay, for determination of a potassium ferrocyanide. Okay, so KCl is the inert electrolyte that is used to suppress okay or prevent the migration current in a fluorography or some other voltammetric technique. And our purpose is in fluorography our purpose is to determine the diffusion current. So this is a negative electrode surface, and we have bulk solution, and in bulk solution positive metal ions are present. तो इसमें क्या होना चाहिए, फ्लोरोग्राफी में क्या होना चाहिए, जो मेटल आयंस है वो डिफ्यूजन के थ्रू आना चाहिए. ठीक है, दैट इट शुड नॉट कम थ्रू द मैकेनिकल स्टरिंग और हीटिंग और इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक. ओनली इन द फ्लोरोग्राफी किसके थ्रू आना चाहिए, डिफ्यूजन के थ्रू. एंड in fluorography we will measure the diffusion current only. Okay, so we will see. So this is a one we can say animated okay animated scheme. Okay, animated scheme to prevent the migration of a metal ions, not through the migration, through the diffusion. Okay, so now this is our working electrode, and that working electrode may be mercury. Okay, and we have applied potential of 1 volt. Okay, and what is the SCE? Standard Calomel electrode, and that is used as a reference electrode. And we have in the solution what we have, metal ion. Okay, metal ion lead 2 ion, and we have added a electrolyte K plus ion. Okay, now we will change the potential. Now potential. Now what will happen? How that we can say we have to prevent the migration current. Okay, migration current in the system. So now when we will change the potential, what is happening? The potassium ion aggregated or gathered around the electrode, working electrode. Okay, and Now, so now you will little bit increase the potential. Some of the lead ions, okay, will reach to the electrode surface due to the migration current, and that is very negligible. Now you can see. Now here it is a layer of a potassium ion, okay, inert electrolyte, and now we have a lead ion, that Pb ion. Now this lead ion will reach to the electrode surface, not due to the migration current, not due to the electrode, because here it is a positive charge and it is a positive charge. It will not, because there will be no existence of a electrostatic force. Okay. Now this transport or migration of this ion to the electrode surface is due to the diffusion, not due to the electrostatic force. And when this will now, okay, so this migration of this Pb ion to the electrode surface is due to the diffusion, and we will measure this current, diffusion current, in a fluorography or a voltammetry. Okay. Then another one is a diffusion. So we have seen that the diffusion of metal ions at the electrode surface. Okay. Then limiting current. So limiting current, how we will get the limiting current? At a point. Okay. So now all the metal ions, okay, migrated to the electrode surface, and it will form a thick layer on the electrode surface. Okay. Now it is a difficult. Okay. Now it is very difficult to migrate more metal ions from the bulk solution onto the electrode surface, and we will get a limiting current. Okay. And this limiting current. Okay. Then we have a residual current. Okay, residual current. So that when we will start the fluorography, we will get a very small current, and that current is called residual current. And that residual current is due to the some electrospecies, okay, that present in the solution, and that is a impurity, okay, or some oxygen molecule, okay, oxygen, the dissolved molecule that present. So that causes the some peak, okay, and that peak is due to the, and also some metal ions other than a target analyte. And residual current is due to the Faradic current and a condenser current. And what is the Faradic current? Faradic current is due to the impurities in the sample, and Faradic current, the condenser current. What do you mean by condenser current? What do you mean by condenser current? When that mercury, okay, drops into the bulk solution, so that is in the form of a negative ion, okay, and in the solution we have a positive charge. When the negative ion reaches to the positive charge solution, so there is a formation of a condenser current. It is the current needed to charge or discharge the capacitor formed by the electrode surface solution interface. As each drop of mercury falls, it carries its charge into the bottom of the cell, and new drop require a more current for a charging. So this type of current is called as a charging current. Okay. Now find that this is a last slide. So here we will see that how we will get the curve for a 0.001 molar cadmium sulfide in a 0.1 molar potassium nitrate, and this is here we will use potassium nitrate as a supporting electrolyte. So this is a potential. We have this is potential from a minus 0.2 to minus 1.4, and this is the y-axis is showing the curve. Okay, now we have started to take the peak for a 0.01 molar cadmium solution. Now we will get that peak, and this peak is due to the residual current, and we have seen that residual current is some impurity or some chemical substance that may be present in the solution. Okay. Then next, okay, so this is a residual current, and this residual current we will obtain due to the reduction of cadmium 2 ion onto the dropping mercury electrode due to the diffusion process. Okay, so we have to understand what do you mean by diffusion process in a electrochemical process. Now, okay, so this is called all the cadmium ion around the electrode has already been reduced. Current at the electrode became limited by diffusion rate of cadmium from the bulk solution to the electrode surface. Thus, the current stopped raising. Okay, and this is called, if we will cut. So we will get this peak diffusion current, this type of pattern. If we will cut that one, so that is called half wave potential. Okay, and there may be question, what do you mean by half wave potential and its characteristics? So each element, okay, each metal ion in fluorography or voltammetry having a specific half wave potential or a standard reduction potential at which particular metal ion, okay, get reduced on the electrode surface. And this is a baseline, and this total is called ID, diffusion current. Okay, diffusion current. So this is about then we have the diffusion current. So this diffusion current is given by Ilcoy, okay, so one scientist. That in 1934, and ID equal to 607 NCD of m2 to the power 3 and T1 by 6. Where n क्या है, where what is the n number of electrons that get oxidized and reduced. C is a concentration of solution, and D is a diffusion coefficient. M is a rate of flow of mercury, how that the drop of mercury is falling into the solution, and T is a time, drop time of a mercury in a second. So this equation equation, and if you know this value, you can determine a ID. Okay, then these are the characteristics of a dropping mercury electrode. So what are the characteristics? Its surface should be reproducible with a given capillary reaction, the constant renewal of electrode surface, the large hydrogen overpotential on mercury enters. Okay, and the mercury should form a amalgam with a chemical substance that you are going to analyze in a fluorography. Okay, so these are the different characteristics. Another important point, okay, the dropping mercury electrode, okay, is useful over the, this one is very important. Okay, there will be a objective type question. Okay, so it will work, okay, plus 0.3 volt to minus 2.0. Okay, so we can do the reduction process from a plus 0.3 to minus 2 volt. Okay, that any metal ion can get reduced, and if we will increase beyond, like we will increase the positive side, means plus 0.3 to more positive side, then what will happen? The mercury will dissolve, it will not act as a cathode. Okay, then we will get a anodic wave due to the oxidation of mercury. Okay, so this is a potential range for a determination. At this potential range, we can use the any chemical substance for determination. Okay, on the mercury electrode surface. Okay, thank you.